I get that it might be a little more distance on a cross country, but don't we all start out in the same starting line?
You can stagger in cross country. You can say. I mean, with chips and everything else, the technology.
Okay.
You can do that.
All right. Well, thank you for making that argument.
Or you can run virtually from your own. I didn't know you can't do that. But
you can't run virtually. You got to run the same course.
I got you. It was, out of all the things I did, remember when we came in today and I was like, hey, look at this, and I put this graphic on there, and you're like, look at you, and I was like, when you get here early enough, you kind of do things. Out of all the things, at 12:06, I finally hit go live on Facebook. So
you know, I've been yelled at before for not doing it.
It's all right. I was wondering. I was like, I didn't see. I thought I saw something on there. I'm like, look at that. And then
we're
I was
live.
like, I'll go live. Maybe that'll do it. Well,
Hi,
and for those
everybody.
out there listening on radio, we also have a show that our show is at the same time going on Facebook Live, and you can leave comments on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. But I want to thank everybody for listening wherever you listen at, either on the app, and you can download the app, ESPN 1170 AM. You can read things that I post on there, including my reactions to the press conference, which we'll talk about later, because I did have some questions. Yeah, Coach Ferentz, Gary Barta, that were on there. And I put that up yesterday.
Not to put this Illinois thing to bed.
Yeah, I don't want to put it to bed. I'm just now.
What were your thoughts on that?
Okay, so right away, like as I was talking, I'm like, I just don't really like this. I don't like. I was against it. All right, because my thing is this: Illinois is one state that's not having. They're suspending the fall sports, but all the ones that border it are still having it. Now, all right. So I was just like, move, and I'm like, but they're going to stop it. This and that.
Easier said than done.
You're right.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's people that lived in their homes for however many years. They can't just up and move.
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
And I said, figure something out. Blah, blah.
How are they going to work?
Apparently, and I'll find the tweet after our first break. Apparently, journalists out of Peoria said that they talked to the Illinois High School Athletic Association, and they're going to allow, if you move with a parent, athletes to go to another state and participate, and then they can move back. So if you really hear me out. And I'll pull it up, and actually, this is on my end.
Let me guess. So let me. So now is the year. If you were a Moline Maroon, you can move and be a Bettendorf Bulldog, and our girl Barb can't write squat about it.
Absolutely.
Take that, Barb.
This is an interesting way of looking at it, and there's a lot of layers.
But this
to it.
only applies to border towns. In essence,
not so much.
Okay, but I mean,
not so much.
Or if you have relatives. Okay, go ahead.
No, because it's not like an aunt or uncle. All right, you parent. That supposedly is, and this is actually on my end.
But what I'm saying, you have to have let's say an aunt or uncle has to move to a house. Let's just say.
Stop saying aunt or uncle. I believe it says parent or guardian.
Parent. The easiest thing for a parent to do would move in with a relative.
Yeah.
With their kid and go, hey, you're going to Assumption this year, or you're going to Davenport West.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And that's if.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, and I think probably if Stocking's out there and he's on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, he might be able to add a little bit. This is actually on me, but I knew we had we're gonna have a guest on in this at 1:30, and I also knew you were gonna be here. Cal's supposed to be coming or whatever else, so I didn't really want to put too much with phone calls, but I wanted to reach out to this journalist, and I'll probably reach out to him on Monday to talk to him. Because really think about this. Now, there are some people in affluent areas in the suburbs that could come and rent out an apartment at Chateauneuf.
Why not stay at the Knoll?
Why not?
It's a great swimming outfit there.
And
Jay.
So here's it, and so they could do that. And if your kid's really into football, really good at football, he technically, or really good at volleyball, we'll just say too. They could technically have 2 seasons in one school year because there's no repercussions of coming back.
Yeah.
You could
think
go
about
move.
this, too. I mean, if you go to Chateauneuf, there's a guy there, my boy Ralph. He's the head suntan lotion applier there.
Oh, man, there you go.
So, ladies, if you're going, ask for Ralph for your suntan applications.
This is, again, and I said this yesterday, and I said it in jest. I said, this is unprecedented time, so do something unprecedented. Do something for these. This is insane that they're allowing this. Now, keep this in mind. What is stopping a young man who maybe is just got a sniff at junior colleges in football, or a young lady in volleyball, all right, in Iowa? Just maybe here they're going into their senior year and they just grew 6 or 7 inches, or they became this wide receiver or whatever, or they put on all this muscle to be a running back. I don't know. It doesn't linebacker, defensive
Things
back.
happen. Think of Scottie Pippen.
And they live in, we'll just keep it to our area. They live in Davenport, all right?
Okay.
And they grew, and the guy is all MAC, all state, whatever else, a defensive back. Let's just throw that out there. And then what if he just moved to a town in Illinois? Is that going to be allowed? Think about that. A kid from Iowa might be able to play the sport twice. What's stopping that?
I don't know.
Now, you say that, you're like, whatever else, but you got to understand, they also border other areas, the Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, like Wisconsin. Yeah, there's
I think they even have a little bit of a border with Minnesota.
No.
You sure?
No, the Tri-City area is, you were in Dubuque for a while, remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
It's the
you're right. I'm stupid.
So, it's really weird how they muckied up the waters. But if this is really true, that Illinois is allowing this to happen, it's changing a lot. And we can stop with the whole, I mean, it's a free reign. It's open
season. But you think about this too, though. They are close enough to Minnesota and Michigan, though, in that aspect.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Those states come into play as well.
100% they do, yeah.
I mean, if you have family in Rochester, Minnesota, for example, and you live in Rockford, that's not a hard call. Chicagoland, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Lansing, all that.
Yeah.
So I pulled up a map so that way I can be not dumb when I talk about this. Yeah. Well, it certainly does bring a lot of things into play, little bird.
Yeah, it's again unprecedented times. I mean, I said it yesterday. Move, and we talked about this. Someone brought up, and they said like this is a type of thing like you have to deal with these things. You have to talk to your children about it. But my point is this: I get that.
Well, can I say something to that line?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said earlier, easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of parents are not financially in that situation where they can just move.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I think we've gone too far into this thing where we're sacrificing everything so that kids can play a sport. As a society.
I know.
I mean, I get it.
I see what you're saying.
It kind of goes back to that line from Breakfast Club. Well, wouldn't that suck missing a whole wrestling meet?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe for Jay it would, but for Troy, it's not that big of a deal. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of sports I wanted to play once I got to high school, but my dad said if you want to have a job or car, you got to pay for your own gas. So I didn't play basketball, and I didn't play a lot of stuff. I only played baseball in the summer.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to have money to drive my car.
I'm with you. I understand.
But you follow what I'm saying. I think we've lost sight of the fact that the parents themselves have fallen into the trap where they are sacrificing anything that they've had.
They've done it, yeah.
To live, if it's vicariously through their kids or whatever else, or is it to spoil their kids? Listen, I'm not going to yell at you for spoiling your kid. It's up to you. It's your kid. Raise them the way you want it. But at the same time, you've gone so far, and we have as a society, to go the extra mile. You go extra mile for your kids. And you do. And I'm not saying you're doing overboard, but Jay, at the end of the day, is it the end of the world if Sophie can't play in a tournament next Sunday because of something that's out of your control?
No, not at all.
You follow me.
No, and I think Brad put it on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. A friend of mine, Miriam, she made a comment as well. These are the conversations you have to have. That it's not like, I don't want to say like life's not fair, but you have to have the conversation like we can't do it right now. Or there are a lot of people out there that will sacrifice everything. I'm telling you right now, there will be some families in the suburbs that are very well off that the wife will be like, no problem. And on top of it, there'll be also families that are very well off that will be like, I have no problem sending my 17-year-old to live by himself in an apartment, and I'll lie and say that the mom is there. Because it's happened here before in other sports.
Bettendorf's good for that.
Bettendorf
is great for that.
Leah, you've changed. Your voice
Welcome,
is a lot
Cal, to the studio.
Hey, I was.
Your voice is a lot higher.
Everybody know. I want everybody to know.
You don't know that Bettendorf's good for that.
I went to PV. You better stop
Get
playing.
here on time, and I'll let you know. Get here on time
I was
beforehand,
standing
and I'll get you.
outside that
PV.
door. I stood outside that door for 15 minutes,
Yeah,
ringing
that's
a
fine.
bell, and they said the bell didn't work.
Get here on time.
All you gotta
I
do
was
is,
here on time.
all you gotta do is text me, Cal.
I text him.
Oh,
I love it. Tommy A says in the Harrington Pub Facebook comment thread, and there's another state that's shut down, Cali. Kid from Cali is going to Valley, West Des Moines Valley. So
They'll send them to wherever they got to go to play them sports. I'm telling you, man.
well, you're absolutely right. They will.
They will.
If they're financially capable of doing it.
What you're saying is like since Bettendorf is one of those. It's a sports. No,
Stop
listen. What
saying
I'm gonna
that,
say.
though.
What I'm saying is Bettendorf is a sports town, right?
we're a
I'll put
premier
it this
city.
way:
We're a
if
premier city, I should say.
you're a
That's
premier
terrible.
city,
If you stop Bettendorf sports, it's gonna be an uproar in Iowa. I swear to God. I swear to God, there would. Am I lying?
in
But
Bettendorf.
Calvin, let me
Am I
ask
lying?
you. Calvin, let me ask you this:
Davenport, not so much.
But I'm just saying, of the programs in the state of Iowa,
Right. Iowa City Central.
What?
I mean, Iowa City, like Iowa City High. West.
City High.
Yep.
No,
They're not going to stop sports.
But what I'm getting at, if you're gonna, there's probably 4 programs in the state. If you are living outside
Yep.
the state, you'd send your kid to.
Yep.
One, Bettendorf's one of them.
Yep.
Des Moines Dowling's the other.
Valleys too.
Valley's
Cedar
2.
Rapids.
Cedar Falls.
You wouldn't send us Cedar Rapids?
No,
Cedar Falls
where
over
is-
Cedar
what
Rapids.
school in Cedar Rapids?
Xavier.
Football. Okay, I'll give you that.
You see what I'm saying?
I'll give you that.
Xavier
All right.
for but yeah.
Xavier's
But
one
they're
of the
not
number one
D1
schools.
or not D1. They're not. Xavier's not.
They're 3A.
They're 3A. They're not 4A. I said D1.
Yeah.
It's going to be Valley, Dowling.
I say City
Bettendorf.
High.
Cedar Falls is there.
Cedar
Or
Falls.
City West. See, the thing about City High, City West, you got to pick a year, and you don't know which ones they are because they go on a
Exactly.
run.
Yep.
Now Liberty's on their way coming up.
Yep.
On the up and up. But now, I mean, and then volleyball's
Regina's
spread all
pretty
over.
good, and-
It's no longer Regina. I was saying,
not?
yeah, there is.
No?
Yeah, no, sorry,
Yeah,
I
it
was
is.
saying
It
Regina.
is
Yeah, they
Regina.
put like 4 together. Yeah, because
Iowa City's a whole different.
Cook
monkey.
is the coach there.
But I would say if you my top 3,
Let's send your kid to
my
Iowa
top
City
4 would
anywhere.
be Cedar
Don't.
Falls,
Right.
Bettendorf,
No.
and then
Talked
the
about
2 from
this.
Des Moines.
Right.
I mean, even the Sioux City schools aren't getting in there.
Well, I'm just saying,
No.
like, but
close.
but the thing is, like, you get what I'm saying when I'm saying Bettendorf. Bettendorf's a sports. It's a sports town.
But
in
you
Iowa.
have
You can't shut that.
you have a
down.
coaching staff there that's been there. Jay, how long? Some of those guys.
Yeah.
Some of those guys are going to 20 years.
Exactly. You can't shut it down.
No, they're not shutting it down. I'm not
But
talking
it's
about
a-
shutting
but
down.
it's
I'm
a
talking
good
about
program.
The thing is, what we're talking about, Cal, is that these
And I think there's
Illinois
other programs
shut
in
down.
this. I think North Scott's doing well too. Jay, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. The thing is that
PV to bring him. I think
Illinois
PV's on the right.
on
and,
the
hold on,
yeah.
hold on.
and by the way, Davenport North, I think, is on its way.
Gotta bring we gotta bring Cal
And
into
no,
this.
we had those young men in here last year. They listen. That coach.
Yes, he's
That
got
coach is a good
places.
coach, man. They're going somewhere.
No, not doubting that.
But the Illinois High School Athletic Association has shut down football, volleyball, soccer, and then they have like different levels of what they can compete in, thanks to their governor and the health department. But what they have said, supposedly, is that they will allow kids to move from Illinois with a parent to another high school in another state, and then they can come back in the second half because they've suspended play until the spring. They're going to play football in March. So realistically, you could. And what we were saying is hypothetically, let's say you grew 6 inches between your junior and senior year, put on all this weight, you're all of a sudden an all-state D-back, or you went to camps, showcase camps, and you were on the rise, and now they took football away. You could move to one of these states, play, and then you could turn around and move back and play again in the spring in Illinois.
Right.
That's what Illinois is saying, which is unprecedented. Again, unprecedented
That's
times.
crazy.
It is very crazy, and I'm telling you, it's going to flood all these states. It's
Exactly.
going to happen. And T. Roy's right. You shouldn't bear all expenses, put yourself in debt for a kid to play a sport, but it's going to happen. There's going to be plenty of kids that can, plenty of families that can afford it.
I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just pointing out.
But like,
I'm pointing out the differences between now and
but what is
40 years ago.
What do those other states do now? Do they put a statutes of limitation on who could come there or how many kids could come?
hell no.
Heck no.
Why not?
Why would you?
Because the real thing is this: the craziest thing about this and how Illinois is allowing this to happen is you get state funding by the number of butts you have in the seat when the school year starts, not when it ends. So all those kids that are coming in there, you get more money. Your attendance going up. It will screw some of them later on next year when they want to play in 3A and they go, your attendance just made it for 4A next year.
So you're telling me all the star kids that come from UT, Rocky, Allman,
Go for it.
Moline.
Go for it.
They could come. They could come here.
Yes.
Tommy Hayes report again. Dowling just got a kid from Chicago.
No. But my thing is like this. What school do you think they would go to play sports for football? If they're football players?
It depends on family. It depends on family.
You know what I'm saying?
What school, in my opinion, would be the school they should go to? You're going to get me in trouble with a lot of these locals.
I'm telling you. Where?
Well, if you're going to play football in this Quad Cities, I mean, you're on the Iowa side. The best program's Bettendorf right now.
That's where I'm not trying to. So what you're saying is those kids.
I'm not trying to diminish anything that any of these other programs do. So please, anybody out there
I'm going off a moral value. So you're saying these kids that are over here playing in Bettendorf, that've been playing since they've been in elementary school, middle school, going to Bettendorf, and these new kids come up and your kid gets shipped out the way for these new kids come. No.
Hey,
that's a whole other. That's a whole other. You're on something.
Listen to me.
No.
No.
Not gonna happen.
Listen. Yes, it is going to happen.
You would let that happen?
It's gonna happen.
As a coach, you would let that happen to your players that you've been coaching since they were like 8.
This has been going on. This has been going on in high school for decades. All right. This is if you do this, if you allow this to happen, and let's say just maybe every once in a while you kind of just go like, yeah, the kid kind of moved in or whatever else, and the parents go, yeah, it's all right, we win. This is chickens coming home to roost. This happens if you allow it to happen, and you're just like, oh man, we just got this guy came in. Yeah, did he move in? He technically moved in or whatever else. And I'm not saying any program at all, but when you allow it to happen once, and then all of a sudden you go, what about my kid? Well, your kid wasn't good enough to cut it then. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying you can't go.
Let's pump the brakes a little further. First of all, yes, is Bettendorf the one that's had the most accolades, made it to the most state tournaments and all this? Yes, right now. There are other programs that are very good and they're very viable.
It's a machine. It's
but
a
at
machine
the same
school.
time, how many players do you think hit that echelon where they could walk across the river, per se, into another program and just make other people sit down? There's not.
You don't think so?
There's not that many.
Handful.
Really?
That are really so good on that side. And the same thing from this side. There's not that many on this side that could walk across the river and take someone's spot on the other side.
Yeah.
There's very many cream of the crop, or very few cream of the crop players.
It's going to be what they said. A kid from
it's going to be a cream of the crop guy that does it.
It's going to be like all of a sudden, like I guess I'm going to be my naive Iowa self, like Glenbard North, and you're like, whoa. Right. This kid just moved in from, I think that's what they're called. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's going to be something.
So you're saying
like that.
Those kids from Quincy,
Mount Carmel, that type of thing.
Their whole team could come over and just take over a new team.
So now you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But like, you got to understand, right now, Moline is on the rise over there.
I don't think it's necessarily on the rise. I think it's already risen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Moline,
if you're talking about
here, but if you're talking like, if you're going to do the same scenario on the Illinois side, Moline's the school you go to.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying.
That has nothing to do with Sissy Went going there.
No.
And then you say it though. You say it, and I do.
I don't even know she graduated.
No disrespect. We said Bettendorf, but I tell you what, you already mentioned North Scott, and we can't be amiss if we didn't mention Assumption, what they've done in the past, what they're doing in the present,
for sure.
North Scott, Pleasant Valley, what they're doing there.
Yep.
The Davenport schools can, by the way. They could all use their help, and guess what? Here's the other thing that the kicker is in Iowa. You all make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
All you got to do is send a letter to the.
Think about this: if you're a stud player, and you know a couple other stud players that want to come over and play, you pick one of the schools that doesn't have "quote unquote" a bunch of studs already,
exactly,
and then you guys go to that school.
But what if they come as a unit? What if they say, we're all going to this school?
Well, then that school has a chance to win the state title, and really.
So what do you do?
And really upset the apple cart.
Okay, so you say there's an awesome quarterback, say PV, and then there's a bigger stud over in Illinois that's going to come to PV.
Yeah.
What do you do with the kid?
He's a wide receiver. He's Julian Edelman.
You're gonna prior him.
He's Julian Edelman. He just became a killer slot receiver.
Yep.
Let's play. Let's seriously before we go to break.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Are you going to answer the phone if you're the coach?
Yes.
Yes, you're going
Absolutely.
to. And then you're going to talk to your staff and say, are we doing exactly what you said, Cal? Are we cutting ourselves at the knees from everything we built up?
That's what I'm saying.
And the answer is,
So you have a freshman kid that
Get
you
over
build
it.
up. He's progressed. He's made improvements, and he's where you want him to be as far as the program. And then you get somebody else to come in there. Do you think they know the program as well as this kid does? That's my question.
That's
okay.
Am I
Isaiah,
right?
you make a very good point, Cal. I'm not
Are you
arguing.
now? Let's say the schools that we didn't mention. All right, the schools that we did not mention,
Right.
that are just maybe across the way. Let's just go up the river and we'll say like Clinton.
Okay.
Does Clinton make a phone call
No.
to somebody in the Orion program?
No.
You as a coach, you don't think that it's
Clinton needs to call Moline.
Okay. So, no, I'm
They
fine.
need the whole team.
I'm just saying, as a coach, do you make the initial contact?
Yes.
You think so? So it's like recruiting now.
Yep.
No.
Why not?
Bad news bears.
No, it's not bad news bears. The thing is like this, like you said, if kids are able just to flood there, they're allowed to do that. Why not? Hey
I think
guys,
if you're a coach, I don't know,
hey, like you said, this is trying times right now.
unprecedented.
Unprecedented times.
If I'm a coach, I don't do it.
What are you gonna do?
For the same reasons that you brought up.
You're gonna think a kid's just gonna want to come to Clinton, Iowa.
No, I'm not going to worry about it.
Oh man, you the worst coach ever.
Okay.
You the worst coach ever. Because you know what?
Because I'm showing loyalty towards my kids.
Thank you.
But
Thank
That's
you.
the way I was stepping in what you were
Yep,
saying.
yep.
or
You get what I was saying?
I was already stepping in
Or-
it.
Yeah,
But I,
or-
as a coach, but if a kid comes to me, I'll welcome him.
yeah.
But I'm not going to go out
keep
and
this in
recruit.
mind now also, and I'm gonna keep playing this, and we've gone way past our opening segment. Keep this in mind. There's gonna be a good chance in Iowa that there might not be a freshman sophomore season.
Yeah.
All right. So now you got a bunch of kids that are going to be going out, but those freshmen and sophomore are going to get beat up a little bit in practice, right? Because are you bringing in kids in? But maybe you have holes in your offensive line, and it's going to be filled by a freshman sophomore. You do make that phone call just to say, we're saving this kid for 2 years. He gets to see the right way of doing things, this and that, and he's not going to get beat up.
So
He's
now
not
they
gonna
got to
quit.
do the college thing, where they have team
Jesus.
blue, team yellow, team red.
We're gonna
We gotta go to
We're
break.
going to take a break, but Stocking on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment said, coaches can't recruit like that, but that doesn't mean boosters and alums can't. No kidding. I mean, that's the coaches fine. Yes, I know the coaches aren't going to make the call, but trust me.
You don't get in trouble
the
for high school
coach-
recruiting.
the coaches-
you get in trouble
yeah.
for college recruiting.
And the coaches know what alums and boosters
Exactly,
and
right.
radio show hosts to get a hold of if they need
All
this.
right.
Like, yeah.
I want to talk to everybody about Bayside Bistro in the Village. Cal, you ever heard of it?
Delicious.
It's not your ordinary sandwich shop, my friend. They don't use deli meat on their menu. Everything's made from scratch, and all the ingredients are fresh. They have paninis like a Bayside po' boy. And have you ever had the roast beef and green bean salad, my friend?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good, man. An incredible menu that specializes in deliciousness. And don't forget about their smoothies and fresh juices they make there, and their incredible dinner entrees. Don't take me and Cal's word for it, though. Check out Facebook and read all over 500 recommendations from their guests.
Where is it?
It is at Bayside Bistro, 1105 Christie Street in the East Village, Davenport.
Yes, sir.
When we get back.
You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Tom Kakert from HawkeyeReport.com, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
We've all spent a lot of time at home lately. Has the look of your kitchen and bath been wearing on you? Time to complete the home renovation of your dreams. And for this, you need an all-star. You need to call Mike at All-Star Home Services. Check out their past transformations at all-starhomeservices.com with financing available and $500 off your complete kitchen or bath project for a limited time. Call now. All-Star Home Services, 563-299-3786 or visit all-starhomeservices.com.
This is the Dan Levitar Show on ESPN Radio.
Do you expect the 78-year-old to throw a strike from 60 feet, 6 inches away tonight? Fauci. 63% of the audience said no. If Anthony Fauci, we should call him Dr. Fauci, But anyway, if Anthony bounces his first pitch tonight, should that impact his shot at winning awards?
What awards is he winning? He's been doing nothing. All he's been doing is warning us, and we've ignored him. And now we're starting sports again.
71% of the audience said yes. He's throwing out the first pitch, Dan.
We've ignored his warnings. He's not going to win any awards. We're number one at being the worst. He gave us all the advice, and we ignored it. Told us how to do this, and we simply ignored him.
He'd be throwing that thing in front of 60,000 tonight if we listen.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
From lines of credit in Chicagoland to equipment finance loans in the Quad Cities to better cash flow in Milwaukee, First Midwest Bank is committed to using our local knowledge and ideas to help our clients get their business momentum back. Visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. You have plans, we have ideas. First Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Seattle's NHL team, they're getting a hockey team?
Yeah.
Wow. Which will make its debut in the 2021-22 season, has announced that its nickname will be the Kraken. Pretty good, man. Is there anything wrong with that, by the way? The Kraken? Like 5 years from now, they're going to regret that. We're good. I mean,
I don't think this.
Does the Kraken have anything in its past that is questionable?
I mean, well, tons of murder of shipmen, but
that's okay, right? As long as it wasn't, it wasn't Aunt Jemima related.
I'm guessing in this day and age, they probably did their research, right?
I think it's offensive and indelicate for sailors. And
the Kraken just killed. Wasn't a slave owner or anything, right?
I mean, it's a horrible sea monster, but it's also mythical, we think.
All right.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
If you're craving old-fashioned Mexican food, it's that Nally's flavor that you're after. You've got to go to Nally's Kitchen. Nally's makes everything from scratch daily and has some of the most unique items in the Quad Cities area. Try their homemade guisado, guarches, and gorditas, or enjoy their delicious tacos and burritos. Check out Nally's Express menu and get your food in 15 minutes or less. Order online at nallyskitchen.com and have Nally's delivered to your home or business today. Nally's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican cooking, Rockingham and Division, Davenport.
Now is the time to get in on the action with Elite Sportsbook. Receive a 50% match on your first online deposit up to $200 for all brand new accounts now through August 31st. Sign up at Rhythm City Casino Resort or Riverside Casino and Golf Resort to qualify for the new account deposit match. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for complete details and restrictions. Then start betting on your phone anywhere in Iowa. Get in on the action with Elite Sportsbook. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Download our app today and listen to sports from anywhere in the world. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, Hasslers, we're back here in the castle of all castles with Don't Hassle Us Local. I want to go over some of the top scores and plays of yesterday in Major League Baseball, Jay-Bird. So what do you know? It is brought to you by our man Tim Hernandez from ID Life, and these are yesterday's top performers. Are you ready for this there, Cal?
Yes.
Some of the batters around the league. Teoscar Hernandez for the Blue Jays, 3 for 4, 2 dongs, 2 ribbies, and 2 runs scored. Christian Vasquez for the Red Sox, 2 for 4, 2 homers, 3 ribbies, 2 runs scored. Miguel Cabrera, this man does not age, Jay. 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored. Jerks and Profar, 2 for 4, a homer, 3 ribbies, a stolen base to boot. Luke Voigt for the Yankees, 2 for 4, a homer, 4 ribbies, Bird. Mike, don't call me Carl Yastrzemski for the Giants, also 2 for 4. I know. J.P. Crawford from Seattle, 2 for 5, 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored. A.J. Pollock, the Dodgers, 2 for 5 as well, along with Max Muncy going 2 for 4. Both had a dong. And then, top pitching performers, shutting down Bird's beautiful Twins.
Yeah.
Shane Justin Bieber, 8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 13 Ks, Jay. That one had to hurt.
It did.
Max Fried Chicken from the Atlanta Braves, 6 and 2/3 innings, an earned run, 7 Ks. Marco Polo Gonzalez, 6 1/3.
These names.
6K. Ryan Cale
Doing okay
Yarborough.
over there? You run out of breath over
No,
there.
I'm not. Ryan Cale Yarborough. Sounds like he should be racing NASCAR, but he's pitching instead. 6 1/3, 6 Ks. Dylan King Kong Bundy for the Angels.
That's not his nickname.
6 innings pitched, 8 Ks. All of that yesterday's action. And here are your scores on Don't Ask Us a Local. Once again, brought to you by Tim Hernandez and ID Life. What makes ID Life different is you.
It's me.
That's right. The Mariners win 8-5 over the Angels.
Yes, they did.
Dodgers 6-3 over the Diamondbacks. Braves 2-1 over the Rays. Yanks 8-6 over the Orioles.
Yep.
The Royals 5-3 over the Tigers. Cleveland, once again, 2-0 over those Twins. Red Sox 4-2 over the Mets. My San Diego Padres 12-7 over the Giants. And the Blue Jays lose to the Nationals.
Okay, so check this out.
Yeah.
Remember when I was talking about the Padres
Uh-huh.
the other day?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They looking tough.
They are looking tough.
They're looking tough.
Jay, the
bro.
biggest play of the day
They're
yesterday
looking tough.
came from Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
They call him the Judge, but the original Judge is Cody Brunning. I used to go to high school with him.
I thought-
Cody Brunning had the Judge hair.
I thought it was the
And
judge
he
from
knows
My
it.
Two Dads.
No, it was Cody Brunning. Top of the ninth, 1 out, 3-1 count. Runners on first and second. Home run. Line drive to left field. Deep left field. Aaron Judge,
I
Jay.
don't know where you find the time to watch all these games.
Well, you never know. This man, Aaron Judge.
He watched YouTube. He watched some highlights.
T-Roy's spotlight for early onset leaders for your
Early
American League.
onset leaders.
For your American League MVP.
Yeah.
Hey, and a few things to look out there for today, Jay. I just want
Yes.
you to know. This is brought to you by Chico's Bail Bonds.
Yes.
This is my
Love it.
bad news predictor
All right.
from Chico's Bail Bonds.
Sweet.
And the Cubs game today, I
It's
got
postponed.
bad. Oh, dang it. Is it really?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That sucks. Because
Yeah.
I had bad news for Trevor Williams. Because
Yeah.
if he's facing Schwarber and Bryant, in the last 26 plate appearance against Schwarber's batting .364 with 3 dongs. Bryant .375, 2 dongs.
Speaking of the postponement,
Why was that one postponed?
because of the rain,
Rain?
Anthony Rizzo
Oh.
went to Twitter last night.
Jesus.
While he, in the
It wasn't
clubhouse during the rain
snow.
delay, and it was bad. And Anthony Rizzo blasted at the MLB, just saying because they're all together in the clubhouse.
Yep.
And they're close. They want him to spread out. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing the twit.
Yeah, the twit.
Basically, at MLB, I don't remember seeing, this type of thing in the 113 page, safety protocol. Saying,
Right.
putting us here for 8 hours, this close, not good.
Right.
Also, he went as far as to at the Cincinnati Reds. He took a screen snap of the area of Cincinnati, and it's just red. When you look at the weather radar app, and you just see it, and you're like, that's not good.
Right.
The entire city's just covered. And he's like, just go ahead and let me know when it's going to let up. And it got postponed, and then they postponed again today. But good for him. I mean, everyone's like, oh, he really blasted him, but really Anthony Rizzo's kind of laid back. So I don't know if it's more funny or if he really was that upset. That's not for me to decide. But
Well, I think he's just pointing out the hypocrisy of some of it. Mm-hmm. And he's a smart enough guy. And he's liked enough.
yeah,
It's not like he has that, like you just said. He doesn't have the reputation for being a smart ass.
Who?
Rizzo.
What do you mean?
He's not like you, Cal.
It's not like he's gonna come out and blast MLB and be like, "Hey, you got to do it." He's pointing something out, but it's I don't know. People are like, "Oh, he really went off on him." I don't know. Now,
By the way, Leah,
today-
your hair looks so much different today.
this morning,
It looks good.
2 Cardinal players tested positive for COVID, so they're suspended their game against the Brewers. Obviously, we have the situation with the Marlins. The Philadelphia Phillies shut down their facility.
Did anybody else test
There-
positive from any of those ball clubs yet? That we know of?
Philadelphia was 0, but the players were 0, but staff members in Philadelphia did.
By the way,
Yes.
By the way, the Marlins are still leading their division.
They are
at 2-1.
They're this is a strong move, bold move, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out.
Well, the playoffs started today, Jay.
If they did, now listen to me. What I don't like is that 2 days ago the Cardinals were playing the Twins,
Yeah.
and now I feel like the Twins versus Cleveland is going to be postponed because I think actually it should be until the Twins get tested.
Oh, come on, dude.
Well,
why are you doing that? Because it's your team.
Well, first of all, I want to make sure they're.
I
I want to make sure they're safe. I care about the safety. I care about the safety of the
oh
Twins.
my God!
I should have said something
you
earlier.
care about the playoff safety.
I noticed your grips are worn. Oh, next time, be more careful.
Yeah,
you care about
That's
the
right.
playoff safety of
I
your
do.
team.
I do.
Oh, you something else.
I knew it was some hidden agenda
But there was a. I mean, we said it out loud. It's the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Cubs, the Dodgers, and even the
Yep.
Cardinals. Once one of those 5 hits,
Yep.
it's going to be like a uh-oh moment.
They'll shut it down.
Now,
They'll shut it down.
when do you think that they go? I mean, if it's only 2, what should be the over under where you're like, all right, we have to tell the previous opponent now you have to take a pause and get tested.
Yeah.
Well, guess who it is? Who is it? Is it 2 guys that were in the bullpen the entire game? Or I mean, you know what I mean? Did those guys even play on the field?
But my question is, man, they tested all these guys before they let them all back to play, and now all of a sudden they have it, but certain guys don't have it. That makes zero sense.
Well, they're taking temperatures and stuff daily. I know they're doing the right protocol.
Let me tell you something what people don't understand about this damn COVID.
Okay.
Tell me.
Please enlighten us here. This is going to be fun.
This is good.
You're taking temperature. Temperatures don't mean anything.
I understand that.
That means 0.
I know.
So I'm confused. I'm confused on why.
Trust me.
They're
this
taking,
whole thing's confusing.
They're taking temperature. So
Calvin,
like
Calvin,
it.
let me.
you're
let
gonna
me,
take my temperature if I have HIV?
Calvin, let me ask you a
You're gonna
question.
take my temperature?
Calvin.
No, I still have HIV.
Quit being Leah for a second.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Right.
that's the example.
But let me ask you a question. All right, I'm going to bring up you pick another disease. Just you by yourself.
I just said HIV.
Okay. So pick another one.
That's not a fun one.
That's not a fun one. Pick.
But it's serious.
I understand.
Yeah, I know. But
pick another disease.
Flu.
Okay.
It's a virus.
So Calvin. So
Yeah,
it's a virus.
it's a virus. That's
All
what
right.
we're going with.
So Calvin, if
What?
let's just say this. Let's say what are the normal symptoms of the flu?
Coughing,
Okay.
high fever,
Okay.
respiratory.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I was to come up to you, Calvin, and say, Calvin, I need you to take a test.
Okay.
All right. And I have you take a test.
Mm-hmm.
And you have none of those symptoms. Let's say you have 0 symptoms whatsoever.
Right.
Okay. And I come back and tell you, Calvin, you got the flu. What are you going to tell me?
I'm gonna freak out.
Well, but you have the flu, Calvin. My test says you
How
have
are you
the
gonna
flu.
tell me I have the flu if I don't have none of the symptoms?
Oh, but Calvin, your blood work says you have the flu. See, that's what's going on right now with this pandemic. People are being told that they have COVID.
They're told they're having it.
They're told they have COVID,
but they don't have any symptoms of it.
Now all of a sudden you're a super carrier, Calvin. You are a super carrier. Not with the football, my young
So
man.
I am legend now.
You are legend, but you follow what I'm getting at here. How
they're trying to
how
shut
are you,
us down.
How are you sick if you're not sick?
If you're not sick, that's my point.
I don't,
That's what I'm
things that
saying.
logically, if you break it down to the basic logic of
dumb.
it all, it doesn't make sense.
It's dumb.
Listen, if you have COVID and you're sick, you have COVID.
No, now you heard the new one. You got to wear goggles.
Are we going swimming?
We'll get to that when it happens. I'm just gonna let that.
Do I
just
got to wear
stay
goggles
out
over
there.
my glasses? Because
I'm
I'm
just
going to
gonna
fog up like
let
a
Because
that-
apparently you could get it through your eyes right here.
I'm just gonna let that stay out there for a while. I don't really want to unpack
I know you don't
that
want
right
to touch
now.
that,
Yeah.
but I'm just
That
saying.
came from that Dr. Fauci fella, who I
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
really have a high respect
He was
for.
he was walking.
And when he starts
got
talking
us
about
walking around looking goofy.
But wasn't that the goofy ass that was just in the stands,
Yeah.
sitting next to the dude with
You
his
guys need
mask
to wear
off?
swimming goggles and a mask. I was like, first off, I'm gonna chop you in the face if I ever see you, bro.
I'm just saying, I'm watching.
Fachucci, Lil
What?
Fauci, Lil gangster.
Listen,
rapper.
I don't think this guy has an agenda. I really don't. I'm not one of those. But he certainly has contradicted himself when I see him at a ball diamond. Not
What politician?
he's not a politician. He's a
he is now
government employee.
Does he speak at the White House?
Well, he does now. Yes.
Yeah, okay then. He's a
I
politician.
want you to speak at the White House.
Yeah.
How can we get that to happen?
I would love Cal Reed to speak at the White House.
Why don't you run?
Run for president?
Yeah, do it.
No, I'd rather run for senator because that'd make a better difference.
Well, and you never have to worry
Governor.
about losing your position.
Exactly. I'll be there for 80 years.
Yesterday, the NBA tipped off.
It did?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Both games ended by within one score. The
in a tie?
Lakers beat the Clippers 103-101.
And the Lakers beat
Paul
the
George
Supersonics?
shot a three-pointer at the end that missed. The Utah Jazz beat the New Orleans Pelicans 106-104.
Does Zion play?
Zion did play, yeah.
Boring.
What do you mean boring? You don't like it? You don't like the bubble?
I don't like Zion.
Well, that's fine.
Wow.
I mean, that's fine or whatever else.
He's hype.
He's all hype. Because he wasn't a bulldog.
Come on.
Whoa, first off, let me tell you why he's hype. You know why he's hype to me?
Why?
Remember Harold Miner?
Yeah, Baby Jordan. I remember that, yeah.
Why they call him Baby Jordan? He didn't play like him.
No.
No, but
Listen, I'm not. Listen,
They
I'm telling you right
Zion's like the next LeBron. He don't play nothing like LeBron.
No, he doesn't. He's different, and nor do I think he should win Rookie of the Year. He played 19 games this year.
And you know who he plays like?
John Morant should win it this year.
You
plays
know,
like Sean Kemp.
Nope. Not just him. Who do you think size and everything? Larry Johnson. That's who he plays like from Charlotte Hornets.
Grandmama.
Remember? Yep.
Plays well, I was even going to go
That's who he
further
plays
back.
like. He plays like Larry
I was going to
Johnson.
say he plays more like Daryl Dawkins. But
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, okay. I'll give you that too.
Yeah.
But like,
I got you. I like the Larry Johnson
you
comparison.
See what I'm saying?
Big, muscular. Larry Johnson was a stud.
He was a stud. But
injuries cut his career
But
short.
when he comes across somebody that's a little bit better than him, like Larry Johnson came around, Scottie Pippen, he got shut down. And everybody wants to see Zion going against LeBron James. No, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that.
I do.
I just no.
You want to see Zion
the
guard
eyeballs, yeah, you do.
LeBron
You want to see
James.
the you want to see the future, whatever else. Yeah, you want to see the future.
You tell me what I want to see what happens, Cal. Yes.
There's games on all day today, starting at 1:30. The Magic are playing the Nets. I went to say but there's really no home court advantage
Wait a
whatsoever.
minute. Magic's playing basketball again, Jay?
Yeah, Orlando Magic. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, Lee. You're not here to make fun of.
3:00 Memphis Grizzlies are playing the Trailblazers. The Phoenix Suns versus the Washington Wizards also at 3:00. On ESPN at 5:30, the Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Sacramento Kings versus San Antonio Spurs at 7. Houston Rockets versus the Dallas Mavericks at 8:00 on ESPN. So there's 6 games today being played in the bubble in Orlando.
You know what I hate about the Spurs?
Yeah.
I forgot to do this earlier, and I apologize.
Okay, what's that?
But I wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Eddie.
Okay.
His son Jacob Deerfield was named All Conference.
Oh, that's fantastic.
North Iowa Cedar League. So
Good
he's
job.
All Conference outfielder. Apparently,
Good job, man.
A lot better baseball player than his father.
Outfielder.
Eddie was very good at basketball.
I want to slide in a quick shout out to Shane Newbert and Rashad Boswell. Shane Newbert has a Shot 30 podcast that he does from his house.
Really?
And Rashad Boswell does the Bald-Headed Truth in Cedar Rapids from his basement. So
nice.
I just want to give a shout out to my brothers. Love you guys.
Absolutely. We do, since we went long in the first segment, have to take a quick break so we get our second break in before the hour.
Break.
Yeah. Sorry, I just laid that on you, but we did.
That's all right, brother. Locally owned and operated in the QCA, Tri-City Equipment has been your source for restaurant equipment, value, and quality since 1934. All your restaurant equipment and kitchen needs are guaranteed, including 30-day labor and 90-day on parts. So if you're looking to cater an event or maybe just looking for specific items for your home, check out Tri-City Equipment online at tricityequipment.com or stop downtown to 527 West 4th Street and check out their newly remodeled 2,400 square foot showroom with over 1,600 items in stock. Tri-City does deliver to Quad City residents and they'll match any online price. So please give them a call today, 563-322-5382 for any questions you have. Once again, that's Tri-City Equipment, 563-322-5382.
Boom!
You like that? Woo! Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Josh Sides, head coach, St. Ambrose University Esports. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're
On
Local.
August 22nd, dozens of people will be rappelling from the Hotel Blackhawk in support of Big Brothers Big Sisters at their Over the Edge event. This year, you can form a team to help you raise needed funds. Your coworkers, a golf foursome, your book club, or just a crowd you go to happy hour with. Why not form a family team and celebrate a life event like graduation, a key birthday, or anniversary? To find out more about forming an Over the Edge team, go to overtheedgeqc.org.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
American Airlines wants its middle seat back, Stugatz. American Airlines does not care about your pandemic, does not care about your social distancing. Enough.
I mean, they're ready to start cramming us back into airplanes already, wild spikes everywhere in the South.
That is correct. Yes, that is correct. Please don't do that, American Airlines. We understand that everybody wants their money. Come on, your middle seat is an injustice of the highest order under all circumstances. The fact that it exists, the fact that you guys continue in a technological age to put us in sideways in your tubes, in your flying tubes. Get out of here.
I'm telling you right now, I board a flight, someone's sitting in the middle seat, I'm leaving the flight. So, I'm asking for my money back, and I'm making a big stink of it on national radio. I'm warning American Airlines right now, okay?
The Dan Levitard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Which stage of life are you in?
I'm shopping for a new house and can't believe I'm a grown-up stage.
How on earth do people afford college stage?
Or
I never have to think about work again stage.
No matter which stage of life you're in, First Midwest Bank has the knowledge and experience to help you. Visit firstmidwest.com/everystage. You have plans, we have ideas. First Midwest Bank, momentum for life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The COVID-19 pandemic is changing the way businesses across Iowa operate, and Iowans now have many questions about what is the new normal. To help provide answers, tune into a new podcast and webinar series by Iowa State University Extension and Outreach called Back to Business, Iowa. This online tool allows Iowans to hear from specialists and industry experts who provide timely answers and examples of what businesses can do during this pandemic. Back to Business Iowa is sponsored by the Community and Economic Development Unit and the Farm, Food, and Enterprise Development Program with ISU Extension and Outreach, also in partnership with the Iowa Small Business Development Centers. The recordings are available on the Back to Business Iowa website, found at www.extension.iastate.edu/FFED/enterprise-development.
AJ here, get your t-shirts here, sweatshirts or polos here, GT Sports here, new owners, new items. I'm AJ at GT Sports, the best damn apparel shop in the Quad Cities with custom apparel, backpacks, uniforms, drinkware, hats, and much more. We are the embroidery and screen printing champions you can count on. GT Sports has it and is ready to serve you. Just down from Helium and Eldridge or find us online at GT Sportswear. GT Sports here, get your t-shirts here, sweatshirts or polos here, GT Sports here.
Baseball is back. Catch every pitch, every double play, and every home run at Circle Tap in Davenport. Catch every game on one of their 16 flat-screen TVs or socially distance on their screened-in patio. Get $1 domestic drafts during every Cubs and Cardinals games and take advantage of their daily food and drink specials. Plus, pick up $5 box lunches with a pulled pork sandwich, chips, and slaw. Plus, buy 15 lunches, get 5 free. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends. All baseball season long at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
Baseball is back. This is your home for Major League Baseball. This is the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
All right, we're back here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. Jaybird T-Roy and my friend Cal. Don't call me Wayne Brady Reed.
Bingo!
Oh, what's up, buddy?
What up?
Glad to have everybody here in the Hassle Castle. Here's a look at some of the games today coming up in Major League Baseball. The boy, I can't even talk, Jay. Sorry, the Cardinals take on the Brewers.
No, they don't.
All right, that one's
Postponed
suspended
because of COVID. Yep.
How about Boston versus the Yankees?
They're going to allow that.
All right.
I'll allow it.
That, you know they're not going to stop that for nothing.
Yeah.
Red Sox, Yankees, Ryan Weber against Jordan Montgomery. And then we have the Mets against the Braves. Rick Porcello against Sean Newcomb. Cincinnati Reds. Are they allowing this?
Yeah.
Well, it's at Detroit, so maybe they will. Anyway, it's Luis Castillo.
Maybe the Cubs one was wrong about the Trevor Williams. Why did I see that? That's ESPN's fault when I said it's postponed.
Well, then it's
the
probably
Cubs,
not.
Reds,
Well, we're going to say that it's going on.
All right, then it is going on. Yeah.
Luis Castillo versus Spencer
I have to look
Turnbull.
at that.
And then the Tampa Bay Rays take on the Baltimore Orioles.
Blake Snell. Remember Blake Snell when he
yes.
came out and said that he loves baseball to death, but he's not going to risk his life?
Looks like he's risking his life to put it on the mound today for the first time.
He sure is. Oh, Blake's back.
I'm not going to risk my life for something I don't even know if I have or not.
Yeah.
He's going against
Blake.
Going against Alex Tex Cobb.
Popular for a hot minute there during the COVID.
The White Sox against the Royals. Dallas Keuchel taking on Trevor Bubeck.
Yeah, it's his Major League debut.
Trevor Bubek, get it? Anyway.
Yep, the boxer. I
The
get it.
Padres taking on the Colorado Rockies. Garrett Richards against John Gray.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Indians, Bird.
Yeah.
Taking on your Minnesota Twinnies.
I know.
Mike Clevenger, not Cleavinger.
No.
Not Cleavage.
Randy Dobnak.
It's Randy Dobnak.
Yeah.
And then until I'm sure it's
And
suspended,
I'm
not buying this ESPN garbage.
No, I think ESPN was wrong this morning when I watched.
Totally wrong.
ESPN's
Bad
bottom
news
line.
for Trevor Williams for the Pirates. He's taking on Yu Darvish and the hot Cubs.
He's got a 7.36 ERA already.
It's probably going to boost over to 10.
But Yu Darvish is matching that with a 6.75 ERA.
And you said
he had one bad outing.
Who the Cubs playing? Who they playing?
The Pirates.
Pirates.
Yeah.
But you got to say it like Morgan Freeman. You got to.
I can't do that.
The Chicago Cubs
Oh, yeah.
playing the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
See, you got a better Morgan Freeman voice than I do. I like
because I'm black, bro.
Oh,
No.
wait. Is that what it is? I had no idea you were
I
black.
have that voice.
Yeah.
Sounds like God.
I would make a really inappropriate joke right now, Calvin, but I'll tell you it off air. Anyway, the Houston Astros taking on the LA Angels. Maybe they won't get thrown at here. Lance McCullers against Matt Andrizi. The Rangers take on the Giants. Mike Miner against a to be determined. I never heard of him before.
So,
TBD.
So we were talking about. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Me and Jay Bird.
Yeah.
We was talking about getting thrown at.
Yeah.
Joe Madden's all for that, bro.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He's all for throwing at.
Dodgers.
He'll throw at him.
Dodgers rounding this off. Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks. Not sure who's pitching for the Dodgers, but the Diamondbacks have Zach Gallen going.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's not on my paper, it didn't print out.
Oh, Tony Gonsolin.
Oh, thank you, Bird.
Yeah.
It's all right. And then the Oakland A's against the Seattle Mariners. Sean Manaea against Taiwan Walker.
Little battle of ERAs there at 7.71, 13.5 for Taiwan Walker.
Hey, can I say Taiwan Walker's probably the worst pitcher I've ever seen in my history.
Hey, Jay, can I get my birthday music? Some birthdays
yeah,
to talk about.
Yeah, I will give that to you in just 1
Whose
second.
birthday is it?
Well, a lot of birthdays, Cal. Today is July 31st.
Yeah.
The year 2020 of our Lord.
Yeah. What?
Well, I don't know.
The Lord.
What I would like to do, though, is say, since we were doing a shout out a little bit earlier, I'd like to say hi to Mikey Hart and from Balls and Sticks podcast. So he's a fan of the show, been on the show, and a friend of the show, and they do a good job there at Balls and Sticks. So wanted to make sure that that they
we need to get my buddies with their podcast come on here and be some guests.
Well, get it, make it happen.
Yeah. Shane Newberg.
We're gonna actually have a phone call. We're gonna phone
Yeah.
call at 1:30 from who does the Friendly Confines podcast for the Cubs.
Sweet.
All right, Jay, going all the way back to 1886. Yeah. Larry Doyle was born on this day.
Larry Doyle.
Harry Doyle's grandfather.
That's right.
Just
back in 1922, Hammer and Hank Bauer was born. In 1957, everybody will know this guy. One of our all-time favorite Cubbies, Leon Bull Durham, turned 63 today.
That's a good
Leon.
one.
Love the Bull
With the glasses and everything.
Oh man, I love Bull Durham. He is a good-looking. I'll tell you what, Bull Durham. I guarantee he was getting some ladies back in the day.
Hey, did he get any of the proceeds from the movie because they named it after him?
They should have.
I think they named it after the Durham Bulls, but
That's all right.
But it was called Bull Durham.
yeah,
Yeah, but he was named Bull Durham after the Durham Bulls too.
yeah.
That's not true.
It's true. Anywho. Born in 92 on this day, Jose Fernandez. And in 1975, Jay, don't get him confused with Mr. Cotter. Gabe Kapler, not Kaplan.
Mm-hmm.
Turns 45
Oh, Gabe
today.
Kapler is?
Yeah, Gabe Kapler turns 45 today.
Dave
No.
Kepler.
I'm just not a Gabe Kapler guy.
All right, I'm just saying, it's his birthday. Can you at least wish him a happy birthday?
I guess so, yeah.
God, man. I'm not a Gabe Kapler guy. Sorry, it's your
Yeah,
birthday,
yeah.
jerk.
I guess I could say happy birthday to Gabe. Good enough guy.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
I mean, you know that everybody in was like, you're named after Mr. Cotter.
Yeah.
His entire life.
Did you know that I was supposed to be named Gabriel?
Really?
Yeah.
Like the
And then they
angel.
changed
Like
it
the
because of-
angel.
I don't know why.
He is a little angel.
My mother's listening. She could probably call in and even tell us or text me. I was supposed to be named Gabriel, and then there was this guy on this show, Room 227 or whatever else, and named Jason, and my father liked it, which is actually a very popular name in the 70s, late 70s. So
I was supposed to be Travis up until the last moment.
Really?
Yep.
We kind of stuck with the
Troy.
Yeah.
The Tra.
And then that's where the J started. There was a grocery store where now, what is it called? Burlington Coat Factory is? It's a grocery store. It's called Joe Vans, and I got lost there when I was 5 years old. And it wasn't a big grocery store. It used to be. It was a Target, Joe Vans right next to it. And I got lost there, and I was upset. And another mother was asking, calling out for a Jason, and I tugged on the lady's dress or whatever else, and she turned around. It wasn't my mother, so I sat down Indian style in the aisle and cried till my mom came and got me, and she explained to me that there's a lot of Jasons in this world. And from that day forward, I was like, well, guess what? Then just call me Jay. I didn't know any Jays at the time. I go, there are a lot of Jays now. So that's where that's a true story. True story. Thanks to
and
Gabe
now we
Kapler.
call him Jaybird.
Yeah, thanks to Gabe Kapler's little birthday wishes. We just got a little bit of it.
Look at that. And now there's tears in the eyes of Americans everywhere in the Quad Cities.
I have to ask you, a question was asked by Shane Newbert from Shot 30 Podcast.
Yeah.
He asked, how happy are you that David DeJesus is gone?
David DeJesus.
I'm not familiar with David DeJesus.
I know the name, but
it sounds more like DeJesus, but all right, I'll go with the DeJesus thing.
You are so white.
Yeah.
He said DeJesus.
You're white.
DeJesus.
So yesterday, you were gone. You weren't part of the podcast yesterday, but you knew of what we've talked about with the Iowa football climate. The report came out. We talked about that with the Hush Blackwell, the independent report of everything. We went through it yesterday. I even posted some things on there on ESPN 1170 AM. Go ahead and read the post. The press conference was scheduled for 1 o'clock, and it went over an hour. They put the video out there on YouTube. So I had questions. I had reservations from what I thought from reading the 26-page report. Ezer Hayes even called in. There's not too much to look at where you're like, oh my goodness, there really wasn't.
Right.
So I think we kind of all knew things.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, sure.
Were questions addressed? As in, what happened with some of these African American players? Mm-hmm. Were the questions addressed that would, how would I say this, satisfy? Let's just say this: satisfy the Robert T. Greens of the world. I don't know if you'd ever find satisfaction, but were questions asked where Robert T. Green would say, "Yes, that's a good question." How about that?
I will tell you my number one thing, and it was asked by number two, the number two question overall. After they did their opening statements, okay, and okay, it was the third question overall asked. It was the number one thing that I said. I said, This is in the findings here. This gives me pause. This is the wrong way of saying anything. This is completely when... sometimes people don't have a filter in their head.
You're talking to the right person.
But you're like...
But I'm saying, like Cal, we've had this conversation off air. You and I can say things to each other as friends.
Yes.
And if someone else was on the outside looking in at us, would be like, what the hell's wrong with you? One person could look at you and say, why would he say that? And one person would look at me and be like, why would he say that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I said this, and I read it on the air, and I said, this gives me complete pause that this coach did not understand the effects of their words and what they mean historically.
Right.
There are ways to say things otherwise, and we need to learn that. And that's where I think when we're insensitive about things that we say. And the question, instead, I'll just read the entire question. It was the third one overall asked to Coach Ferentz. Coach, one paragraph that stopped me dead in my tracks when I read it. It was about a current player that you have. And he was saying that one of the coaches told him, freshman players, that what you're doing right now is you're going to get on a boat and leave your past life behind you. I'm going to pause just to let that for the effect.
I don't get it.
I get it, Cal. Come on now.
I'm going to go on. That's a little bit tone deaf to me because as an African American, that boat might symbolize something different for me than it would for a lot of white players who look at the Mayflower opportunity coming here.
Right.
Slave ships, 1619. They came here for centuries to this country. So you see the visualization. That's a difficult passage for me. Is this coach still on staff? Is this true? it hurt me. Great question. I love the ending. It hurt me. Coach Farron said that is not the word choice that should have been in there. And again, we're all learning. I just learned something about that, but I take that in a different way. And really, our players aren't leaving their past behind them. No player should leave his past behind him because we're all a product of our past. There's a lot better way to state that, no question about that. The message should be what we're doing here is really important. I do talk to our players every year that what they've accomplished in high school, it's great. That's why you're here. You've been selected, but what we're interested in, what you can do moving forward. And that's for every player on our team, whether a fifth-year senior or a first-year guy. The focus really is what are you going to do on a day-to-day basis while you're in this program academically, football-wise, and also character-wise. I certainly don't condone that, and I appreciate your feelings on it. He doesn't answer, is the coach still on the staff?
No, the better way to say that, by the way, to the players is this. Guys, you're here because of what you've done in the past, but we are only going to focus on the future.
And that's how that should be applied to life, period.
Now, I can get how that reference...
Let me explain something. The boat thing...
Does it bother you, Cal?
No. You know why? Because I've been called worse. I was in the military, bro.
But let me get you. I know, but do you think that the reference that gentleman was making, that coach was making, do you think he was thinking of it in a racial terms?
Was he just saying it? Is there
just metaphorically boat? You're just on a boat leaving one place.
Is there an Irish kid on the team?
Well, I'm just saying.
Is there an Italian kid on the team?
But he could have used the word jet plane. You're on a plane. You're leaving your old place on a plane. If you use the word plane instead of boat, did he just use the wrong type of vessel to travel?
He used the wrong vessel because really what he's saying is, this is the way I explain it, that I believe you have got to leave your bad habits behind. We're here to take your good habits because that's what got you here. And we're going to take the bad habits that you learned in high school, and we're going to now make good habits out of them.
Okay, we're talking about sports.
Yes, that's what he's doing. That's what he said.
But is he talking about sports?
The whole time he was talking about sports.
The whole time he was talking about sports, he made a bad visualization. It was a bad metaphor. It's an awful metaphor. You can't say to someone, you're getting on a boat and leaving your past behind you. That visualization is awful, like right away.
It can't be because he was never on a boat.
I understand that. He himself wasn't.
Right? Calvin, you're touching on something. I'm feeling Calvin. Jay, what Calvin is saying is,
what I'm saying is, like, if you've never actually done that, if that's never actually been persecuted, you don't know who your family is down the line. You don't know who it is because you could be a product of, you could be a black kid, and you go back to see your roots, and you could be the son of a slave owner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Hey, Calvin, I think what you're saying right now Calvin, let me get this. Let me throw this analogy at you.
Right.
So, is it fair to say you've never been a slave?
100%.
Okay, it's fair to say I've never been a slave owner?
Exactly. So why?
Why are we living in the past?
Why? Because they pick and choose, like they say. Americans are hypocritical.
Oh yeah.
They pick what they want to. They're like, leave that in the past.
They want to pick the good, easy to get booger, but they leave that one deep up in.
Yeah. Hey, leave the slavery thing in the past, but we're going to keep this Confederate flag. Then leave it in the past too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. Leave all that stuff in the past. What my thing is like this. I don't live in the past because the past doesn't get me to the future I'm trying to look forward to.
Be mindful of it.
It's mindful of it. Yeah, I know it's there. But the thing is like this. If I keep referencing something that happened in the past, I'm not going to be able to grow as a person for the future and for what I'm trying to build.
Right.
You could keep saying, people like to bring up topics and things about the past of sports and this and that. Here's where we are. We have the opportunity to do this now. Now let's do it.
Right.
But if you're going to keep living in the past and using that as a handicap and as a crutch, then that's on you.
Yeah. You're not part of the growth.
You're not part of the growth.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think about it.
No.
Because my thing is like this. I live for now. I live for my kids. I have biracial children. You understand?
No, I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Cal?
But I'm just saying.
I'm joking.
No, but the thing is like this. We don't teach them as biracial children. We teach them as kids.
Exactly.
They're children.
Right.
Nobody cares what color it is. They're a child.
You know, Hazel still doesn't believe that she has two brothers. Cody came over yesterday. I go, Hazel, this is your big brother. And she goes, Daddy, he's not a brother. He's your brother. No, he's not, Daddy. She's not. She still doesn't get what I'm
He's chocolate.
She just giggles at me. She goes, Daddy, he's not a brother.
Cal, always interesting way of looking at it. Good for you.
You know what? And I like having Cal's perspective on it because obviously
I don't like anything handicapping me. And I don't want nothing to handicap.
But this show has always been basically me and Jay.
Exactly.
Two middle-aged white dudes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
and it's not easy yet.
But you got to understand, you guys, especially you.
Yeah.
Troy.
Yeah. Military.
You're from You were from Waterloo, bro.
Oh,
come on,
dude.
Come on. You come on. You know what's up. Jay's
from
been
the
in
south
sports.
side of Middle Road. Get out of here.
No.
I mean,
Jay,
I'm not. But
Jay,
I'm just saying, Jay.
how many athletes you've been like, man, this is my guy. You are the type of people you don't look at this. You don't look at this.
Yeah.
You look at people's character. Yeah. And how they carry themselves.
Yeah, and I hope that goes on to my kids, whatever else. But I can't force that upon the next person. I can just
my buddy Eddie's probably listening right now, and like I said, when we grew up as kids, it wasn't. We were all just kids, like you just said. When you're raising your children, you're raising them as kids.
Yeah, I'm not raising them to be like, you need to watch out for this. No, I'm not going to say that.
You know, we were all just in school playing, doing whatever.
Yep. And that's the problem with sports right now.
But
you see what I'm saying?
And there was times when, especially when we got to high school and stuff, like everybody hanging out with everybody, and then like our friends that were black would come and hang out with us, and they would look at us like there was something wrong with us.
Right.
Like they were like, "You guys are nuts. What's wrong with you?"
Right. And that's how it was in Georgia. We had one guy that played basketball.
Yeah.
One guy that played football. 12 white guys that played baseball in Georgia, and the rest of the team was black.
Oh God!
You see what I'm saying? So like my thing was,
Stephen Treywick was one of my best friends ever growing up. Him and I played baseball from like 6th grade on, and he's he's the best player we had on our team, hands down. I would say. And
we would call him Vanilla Bones. That's what we call him, Vanilla Bone. Hey, Vanilla Bone, and they'd be like, "Yeah, what's up?" You know, it's the thing is like.
Do you know what red bone is?
Yeah, I do. It's light-skinned black girl.
I do not know what that. I did not know.
See, because he grew up in Bettendorf.
South side of Middle Road.
I
don't know how to tell you guys.
He keeps trying to put that South Side in there like it got some credit.
How to handle more.
South Side, Middle Road.
South side of Middle Road.
If you guys know where South Side is, it's very pretty.
No silver spoon in this mouth.
We're not saying that.
Hey,
silver
South side of
Although
Middle
you
Road.
do look a little like Ricky Schroeder.
Hey, that house he grew up in the South Side Middle Road would be like $120,000.
Get out of here.
But no, I get what he's saying. Like when he said he never answered.
He didn't
about if the coach is still there.
Yeah.
Does it say who the coach was, Jay?
No. They don't mention any coaches. The only time they bring up anyone is because of Coach Doyle, because he's been like,
why would he want to be backlash?
Apparently, there were 4 coaches mentioned in the report that were brought up. I would assume, I'm recklessly speculating, that one is Coach Kirk Ferentz, the other one is Chris Doyle, the other one is assistant offense coordinator Brian Ferentz, and then Seth Wallace. That's what I'm assuming are the 4 that are mentioned. That is going in. That I don't know if that's going to come out. Barta did talk a little bit about that in their files.
So basically, why they're hassling Ferentz is like, your kids are racist.
Well,
that's how they're looking at it.
Like, hey,
that's how they're looking at it.
Someone did, and it's about like, and
they're like, where'd they learn that?
Barta did get kind of grilled by,
you see what I'm saying?
by a certain media person who was just like, is anything in the findings that would ever prohibit you from hiring Brian Ferentz? And he's like, I'm not answering that. And he's like, but do you think Brian Ferentz is going to be a head coach someday? And he's like, I think he's grown up a lot in this program, going from offensive line coach to offensive coordinator. Would you hire him? And he's like, I'm not going to answer that. And it was absurd to ask that stuff. But the other things that they talked about, like what he's going forward, obviously he mentioned a lot about June 6th, June 7th, about learning things going forward, what he's doing. It was...
Someone's calling.
Okay. All right, well, good luck. I don't know what this is. Let's figure this out. You ready?
You're live on Don't Hassle Soloco. Who am I talking to?
Hello.
Yeah. Doesn't look like we got
Bueller? Anyone?
I was really scared that somebody had sometimes when you don't know what it is, it's a.
I was hoping it was a telemarketer.
Yeah, that's always fun too.
Are you good with your insurance?
So he talked. The report had things about the list that they had. They were worried about being on a list for doing things like not making weight or not their sleep cycles. But he said that he's going to make some changes. He might be that incoming freshman. Yeah, they'll have the sleep bands because they're trying to teach them the right way to sleep.
I want to ask my own hard questions for you.
Sure.
So I asked the question. So to me, it does not sound like there's anything in this report that would satisfy Robert T. Green or people that would. I mean, Robert is a different cat. Let's just put it point blank. Robert's unlike there's very few molds that match Robert, whereas he's basically looking to argue constantly. But I think he wanted the questions asked to certain people in certain families. So what I'm getting at is, were there any findings whatsoever that other than obviously a mischoice of a adjective?
Yeah.
But I mean,
the report. All right.
Does the report answer any tough questions? I guess I'm trying to.
If you ask me them, I can probably answer them from reading and watching the video.
I mean, is there evidence of systemic racism or not?
Conclusion: in some, the program's rules perpetuated racial and cultural biases and diminished the value of cultural diversity. The program over-monitored players to the point where they experienced heightened anxiety and maintained a culture that allowed a small group of coaches to demean players.
So read that again. Their findings
that the program's rules perpetuated the Iowa way, which is, we broke that down. That's I have a problem with that, but because what the coaches consider the Iowa way and the players consider the Iowa way are very similar, but. Anyway, the program's rules perpetuated racial and cultural biases and diminished the value of cultural diversity. The program over-monitored players to the point that they experienced heightened anxiety and maintained a culture that allowed a small group of coaches to demean players. Let me break that down for you, okay? The program's rules, the Iowa way, made them feel like the Iowa way made them, when they verbally tell you, for the few that were critical of it, they say they want you to be a white Iowa kid. Basically, all right, that's the Iowa way, by those who have a problem with it.
So Calvin.
And diminish the value of cultural diversity. The Iowa way is show up when you're in the facility, wear Iowa gear that Nike gave to you for free, that they want the logo to be on you, but okay, go ahead, and sorry, we don't want you showing up to meetings in tank tops and do-rags or whatever else, earrings, your hair a certain way. But that's not true because there's the Paulson twins who had long hair too, but... So that's where the over-monitored players, that's where it comes down to. They were worried about weight gain. They were worried about sleeping. They were worried about getting on a list that they would be in trouble, called out by the players.
They're saying they overly did this towards African-American players.
Players overall.
Players overall.
Football program culture. This is football program culture.
So this is an overall thing. So they treated all the players the same?
There was 111 people that were in this interview, all right? Including 45 current and 29 former members of the football team, 36 current and former employees. 52% of the people that were interviewed were African American.
Can I make something clear real quick?
Sure.
Yes.
This is not Hayden's Fry program. Hayden Fry's program was nothing like that. It was nothing like this. This is Coach Ferentz. So I don't want them to say Iowa's been like this, because that's wrong, because Hayden Fry went down to Texas.
Yeah.
Tell the story. Tell the story, Jay.
Hayden Fry's the first man to
Southwest Athletic Conference.
The first one.
Yeah,
he integrated it.
Yeah, he integrated it. So,
and he got 12 of the best black players he could get, and he recruited from Texas and Florida ever since he was there at Iowa.
Well, I'm going to go even further.
This new thing.
Fry wasn't as disciplined as Ferentz.
No,
not even close.
No, and the thing was, Hayden Fry is like, I'm going wherever I can find the fastest, the biggest, the best. I don't care what color they are. I'm getting them.
Yeah,
and that's what he did, because you know what he did.
He won football games.
Exactly, and the thing is, right now, Ferentz ain't winning no games. They trying to find a way to get him out.
Well, he's winning games, but
no, he's not.
They're not trying to. They're not. Barta's not getting rid of Ferentz.
I know they're not.
They might.
I
They
know
might
they're
force
not.
him out by making him
that's
feel
what I'm saying.
unwanted.
That's what I'm saying, and that's my point.
In this
They're
economic
trying to-
climate, they can't afford to buy him out either.
They're trying to force him out because the
It's an
thing is
interesting
like
way of
this.
looking at it.
Hey, they're like, hey,
there's some media. That
how many conference championship have you won, Ferentz, since you've been here in 20 years? How many?
I smell you're stepping in, Cal, but here's the deal.
But
This isn't buying out Doyle. They're going to cost a lot more than
But how many conference championships has he won?
Jay?
I
won
and got to the championship final when they had the playoffs.
Won.
Yeah. It's
in
still
20 years.
That's I get.
It's a
I
tough
get
20
where
years,
you're
Cal.
going. Yeah, I get what I get.
Get
I get
outta
what-
here.
We do.
He had Brad Banks, bro.
Listen to me.
That's no Brad Pitt.
There's a certain young lady listening to this show right now who loves Iowa all the way back to Lute Olson and Hayden Fry, and she pointed out to me yesterday.
Lute Olson, basketball
she pointed
coach,
out
she was
yesterday
dope.
that yes, Hayden Fry, what you're saying, there's probably not the a racist bone in there, or you can find that, but he was a huge sexist.
Who?
That's my mother. She pointed out yesterday.
Who, Hayden Fry?
Hayden Fry.
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. When he sit there and said like, if you,
so am I.
They're talking about. He said like they're talking about.
Remember they asked him about the girls'
little
sports
dumplings.
at Iowa?
No, he said if you can't get to class, why don't you find yourself a little dumpling and she'll help do some of the studying for you. You just say get yourself a little dumpling.
A dumpling?
Yeah, that's what he called little girl.
love dumplings.
Yeah,
he's from Texas.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying. The
Get you some
climate
dumplings.
is
I like
getting better.
chicken and dumplings.
111 people, and honestly, I really think it sounds like 6 people that were upset.
Yep.
Really upset.
Yep.
There are some that say like, yeah, that's
But
pretty bad.
everybody else described the culture.
A lot of
They described the
in
culture.
here. There's a lot of
So
contradictions.
Jay, 52% of the people interviewed were
African American. Out of the 111. Now listen, there are a lot of
I don't believe that because there's not that many black people now.
But when you throw in former players, though, there you go.
Yeah, you got to do it from 50 years back.
Yeah. There's contradictions. There's players that said like, a black student athlete was punished more for spitting on the turf, and then one goes, and then someone goes, it's a former or current player's like, I guess so, and then there's another player that's like, no, this player that was white got punished too. So the stories just don't really match up. I don't know what we thought we were going to find.
Let me tell you something about this right here. What you need to do with this, you need to burn it. You know why? Because the thing is like this. The culture is different these days than it was when we grew up. When we grew up, when we grew up, was we on that sensitive stuff? No. We were just happy to be on the dang team.
If your dog died, you went to work.
Yep. Yeah. Shoot, if my cousin died, I would go to the funeral and go back to work.
If you had to.
You see what I'm saying?
Right?
But these days, they're like, oh, I have to take the whole week off. I mean, you sit down.
I have a question on the T-Roy text thread. They want to know who Cal is. Did he play at Iowa? No, he's not athletic.
Don't say that.
You are crazy.
I'm just teasing.
We gotta take a break.
Cal's Air Force. I'm Army. We're military boys.
Air power.
He's a Georgia Bulldog, if anything.
That's right.
We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to call Ryan Lieber from the Friendly Confines podcast. So we're going to talk to him, and we're going to talk about the Cubs. See what he thinks about what's going on.
Let's
Coach,
go.
anything else? Maybe we can figure out the bullpen problems too. While we're at it. Let's take a quick break.
Oh, gee, that's me.
Yeah, that's going to be.
You want me to read this?
How come I can't read no advertisements, man?
You can read one next.
I'll give you one next. Van's Pizza More is open
really
now by the
excited about
Plex.
being here.
Towards the middle of Forest Grove Road. They have outstanding specials on the Van's Pizza you love. Also, check it out. $5 burger basket, $7 double cheeseburger basket, a $5 personal pizza, or $7 for a personal specialty.
What about those bread nuggets?
Oh, they're so good as well. $9 for any medium pizza, $12 for any large. All this going on from 11 to 9 daily. Delivery to all of Bettendorf and LeClaire. Just call 563-232-1396 and have it hot and ready for you to pick up, or like I said, delivered. Once again, the number 563-232-1396. That's Van's Pizza More, 5023 Competition Drive in Bettendorf.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah. Woo!
This is Randall, the QC hot dog guy. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Hit a home run on your next newer used car purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered your personal field of dreams. You'll be treated like an all-star from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a major league selection of pre-owned vehicles. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah, Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
I love Chris, and I want to support Chris in whatever he wants to do. And if he likes magic or he wants to talk about how today's the last today ever, that's something I'm going to support forever.
What is that you said?
Well, this goes back a ways, Dan, and we've been trying to get this off the ground for some time now. But we were talking, Chris and I, and we kind of just realized, hey, today's September 23rd, 2019. This is the last September 23rd, 2019 ever. And they were like, wait, tomorrow's the 24th. And that's the last one of those ever. And then we just realized that today is always the last today ever.
It's crazy to think about because most people think, oh, you know what, I'm going to get one next year. But no, it's different. It's not the same thing. Today is the last today ever. Doesn't that blow your mind, Dan?
Ooh. Make it count. I mean, seriously.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Your business can have a website that looks great and gets found online. Find out why over 20,000 businesses have chosen Townsquare Interactive for their website design.
Hi, this is Jerry from Vander Vending. We used Townsquare Interactive. It was easy, simple, and was up and running in no time. We found that it's user-friendly on our side and our customer side.
Make sure your business gets noticed with Townsquare Interactive. For more info, call Dave Sarin at 563-884-7278.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
There's an old Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Digging season is almost here. Shademaster Nursery wants you to stop and pick out your tree from over 12 acres of their locally grown trees. Shademaster's full-service nursery, garden center, and tree farm has the area's finest selection of shrubs and perennials, too. Visit them today and enjoy their everyday low prices. Shademaster Nursery, 4401 West 90th Street, just a quarter-mile north of Farm and Fleet in Davenport.
Introducing First Midwest Bank's newest branch, your home. With our online banking and mobile app, it's easier than ever to make a deposit from the dining room, pay bills from the patio, or get alerts in the loft. The convenience of First Midwest Bank, right from your own home. Visit firstmidwest.com/convenient to get started today. First Midwest Bank, momentum for life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB, Davenport.
All right, everybody, we are back in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. And you're listening to Don't Hassle Us Local on AM 1170.
I'm fired up.
So
I'm fired up.
I got a message earlier this week from big friend of the show, Jay Kidwell, over at WHBF.
I haven't seen Jay in a long time.
Yes, and he said I want to connect you with this guy who does a Cubs podcast. He's looking to talk more about the Cubs, expand the brand. And I was very eager.
And this coming from a Yankee fan of all.
That's right. And I said I was very eager.
I can't
very
wait.
eager to say yes to Jay. For those who know the story, we wouldn't be where we are right now without Jay Kidwell. Without
him,
him,
Jay and Randazzo are
yes.
two of our strongest
supporters
when
in
we
the
started this
Quad
out.
City media.
Absolutely.
So if Jay reaches out to me, I always say yes. So, and I've had the opportunity already to talk with Ryan once, but want to introduce him to the Hasslers, and I want to introduce him to you guys. So we're going to call him now.
Sweet.
I'm scared to
And
talk.
Ryan actually did news here at WQAD.
There's only one Cubs fan here.
What? Get out of here.
Hello.
Hey, Ryan, this is Jay from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. In studio with me is T. Roy and Cal as well. So if you hear voices coming from all over the place, it's not just me making up voices. I'm not
Go
like
Cubs!
Yeah.
What's going on? How are ya?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, we
just
can hear you
fine,
just
sir.
fine.
Thank you.
Where are you right now?
I'm in the car, just driving. So I could just stay in the car for the interview.
Okay, I meant like location-wise, like absolute location, geography.
Oh, I'm in South Florida.
Oh.
I'm in Delray Beach, Florida.
Oh, see,
Is there-
he didn't have to tell us that, rub it in our face.
Is the tropical storm hitting you guys at all?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
we're
no.
like literally right in the center of it.
Oh,
So a lot going on for sure. Yeah.
So you're down. You're
take that back.
Ryan, you're down there originally. Where are you from? And then how do you have Quad City ties?
So I'm originally from Chicago,
Uh-huh.
born and raised. I moved down to South Florida in about 2002, and I have been working down here ever since and kind of laid roots. My ties back to the Quad Cities is I was the weekend sports anchor from 2000 to 2002, working at Channel 4. I always look back at my memories of the Quad Cities very fondly. I enjoyed my time there. Been quite some time since I've been there, but probably the highlights of my time there, I got the opportunity to cover the Quad City Mallards before they were no more, winning the UHL Cup in 2001. And then I got to see the Quad City Steamwheelers, the arena football team, win a championship as well. So those were definitely some really cool highlights that I got to cover when I was down there.
How did you? So first, introduce the listeners to your podcast.
Sure. So the name of the podcast is called The Friendly Confines. It's a Cubs podcast that talks about all things Cubs baseball. We started it about 2 years ago. My partner, Chad Gordon, and I, we met up at the 2016 World Series. We're friends from college. We both went to Southern Illinois University in Carbondale. And we decided we were going to meet up at the World Series, and we put our heads together and we said, listen, we really got to find an opportunity to bring a podcast for the Cubs to an audience because we both love the Cubs. We both had that itch to scratch when it came to, being sportscasters again because it was in our blood from our previous careers. And in around 2018, we decided that was when we had the technology to be able to put this together, and we've been doing it ever since. And our guest list is pretty substantive, and I mean, it's just basically from pure perseverance of us going out, getting guests. We've had the likes of Joe Buck on our show. We've had Carl Ravitch. We've had Sarah Spain. We just had Len Casper. Our newest episode that we just dropped today has Pat Hughes, the radio voice of the Chicago Cubs, which is heard on your ESPN radio station when he does the Cubs game. So we really have had a great opportunity to get some really awesome voices that either are in the sport of baseball or cover the Cubs. We've had a lot of guys that are in the Chicagoland area that cover the Cubs as well. So I, would obviously implore anybody that's a Cubs fan to download our podcast. It's free. You can find it where podcasts are available. And, every week we have a new guest on. That's the beauty of what we love so much is that we have not duplicated a single guest on our show in the 2 years that we've been doing it. So we're really, really lucky about that, and we're really excited about bringing, the fans everything that's going on with Cubs baseball and also a different voice that can kind of give a different opinion and perspective about what's going on in baseball and what's going on with the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, Troy, hold on. Hold on real quick.
Go, yeah.
Did you say Joe Buck?
Yeah.
I did say Joe Buck. It's actually a pretty amazing story.
I'm leaving this. I'm leaving this pocket. I'm leaving this radio station right now. Joe Buck is a Cardinal, first off, and he is the worst. He's the worst. And you know how hard it was.
Just wait. Yeah, go count.
No, because he's the worst because he is condescending. When the Cubs won the World Series, he was so condescending. Did you not feel that?
I don't think you like Joe Buck.
Did you not feel that?
All right, Ryan.
I didn't feel it. I like Joe Buck.
Hold on, now let Ryan talk. Yeah.
I will fiercely defend Joe Buck till the very end. Let me tell you
Hold on.
something about Joe Buck.
I'm
Let
paddling
me
the same boat.
say this. First of all, Joe Buck actually is one of the nicest and kindest individuals. This guy, not only did he get back to me, I've had a harder time getting guys who are in, radio stations that are in like Tupelo, Mississippi than I had getting a hold of Joe Buck. Joe Buck got back to me within an hour of me emailing him to see if he would come on our podcast. And he doesn't know me from anybody. And he took the time to come on our show. And actually, I'll have you know, Joe Buck, believe it or not, is a very big Chicago fan. He does actually like the Cubs. And he was actually in, you can go back and listen to our episode with him from last year. He was actually really excited when the Cubs did win the World Series because he knew what a great storyline that was. And here's a little tidbit for you. Joe Buck is actually a huge Chicago Bears fan. His grandfather on his mother's side played for the Bears.
Jesus.
I want to say in the 1930s. So Joe Buck actually is a huge Bears fan and always talks about how much he loves the Chicago Bears. So it's kind of interesting to hear that perspective from him. But I am a huge Joe Buck fan. I know he gets a lot of hate from people, but I don't think it is absolutely necessary at all. I really believe it is misplaced when people talk about how much Joe Buck hates your team because he really doesn't. He loves baseball, and he really just roots for good storylines. And I remember asking him the question, actually, in our interview about when did he really stop caring about baseball games and who won or lost, right? And he tells a great story as to when he was in the locker room of the Cardinals, because we know his dad was the great Jack Buck for the Cardinals, broadcasting for many years. He was in the locker room, and basically when he noticed that the players, after 5 minutes, were just hanging out, clowning around, drinking beer afterwards, he kind of realized that if the players don't care that much after a game, why should I care that much after a game? And that was when he kind of shifted his focus and recognized that it's about storylines, it's about what's good for the game, and ultimately it's about what is going to get the best ratings on TV. So that's my take on Joe Buck. I know that people out there may disagree, but I certainly will defend him till the very end.
Okay, Ryan, couple things. One, for those of you going back and downloading who are now subscribing, looking at the podcast, this is in season 147. It's there's 3 episodes actually, July 29th, August 4th, and then you guys do the full interview on this as well. And I want to ask you about that Joe Buck. Before going into that interview, did you feel the way Cal did as a Cub fan, though?
No, I've never had an issue with Joe Buck. I can see where some people feel like they have that sort of anger towards them, as any broadcaster would. You know, there's some broadcasters out there whoever it may be, whether it's Joe Buck or Marv Albert or, whoever that national broadcaster is you think is not a fan of your team.
Bob Costas.
But Bob Costas, who, by the way, Bob Costas is actually a huge Cubs fan as well.
You better get out of here.
I'm telling you, Bob Costas, I know he likes the Cardinals as well because he lived in St. Louis for a long
But he was
period of time.
he was an anchor in Chicago for many years as well.
Yes,
Bob
he was.
Costas.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
yes.
He is a big. I mean, he recognizes the beauty of what Wrigley Field is all about. So with that being said, I did not have that same angst. I've always been a big fan of Joe Buck. I feel like he's always been very misunderstood personally. So that was my takeaway on
like
that.
Tupac.
I also didn't mention
I got it.
About 2 weeks ago, we actually had a great episode with Mike Greenberg from ESPN, the host of Get Up. So he was one of our most recent guests as well. So we've really had some great opportunities to interview some of the biggest names in the business that have had just been so gracious with their time to come on their show.
Sweet.
I do like that how you guys break things up. Instead of season 1, season 2, you are up to season 148. I appreciated that. I saw that, being that this is the Cubs' 148th season, I appreciated that you guys did that. It was a good touch. I did like that. So I do encourage all of you guys to go out there. If you're listening to podcasts wherever you get them. I know Anchor's a big one for you guys, and they send it out to all your Spotify, iTunes, and whatnot that you can go to listen. This drops every Thursday, right?
Yeah, we kind of drop, in the middle of the week, just depending on, what is really going on and when we really feel like we have a bulk of information that we can get, out there for everybody. But the thing that I think also sets us apart from other Cubs podcasts, as opposed to, some that you might hear on the different platforms that podcasts are available, is in addition to the interview that we do something that's kind of similar. If you guys are familiar with the TV show Pardon the Interruption, we sort of debate topics, and instead of just kind of going through a 45 minutes to an hour show, just kind of going back and forth, we set it up in innings. So we have the first inning, the second inning, the third inning, and so forth. And each inning is basically a topic that we debate for about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. And then when we get to the seventh inning, that's when we call it the seventh inning stretch, where we bring in our guest conductor, so to speak, which is our, big interview of the night. And then that's when we finish up with the eighth and ninth inning. So I like that we kind of have that rapid fire, sort of quick pace podcast that allows the listener to get into it. We don't spend too much time on a topic, because I think after a while you can get tired out with it. And then we're ready to move on to the next topic and ready to discuss what else is pertinent and important with the Cubs and what's going on with the team as we, move through this very unique 2020 season.
You mentioned this unique season. Is this season going to make it?
Yeah, that's kind of the $1 million question, isn't it?
Sure.
I mean, it is so hard to now we have the Brewers and the Cardinals game postponed. Obviously, the Phillies and the Marlins, where I am in South Florida, the Marlins situation is just absolutely unbelievable what's going on with them. I think Major League Baseball is going to do everything in their power to complete the season in some way, shape, or form. But right now, it's tough. I mean, they did not do themselves any favors, and I understand that the players did not want to go inside a quote-unquote bubble like the NBA did, but it seems that the bubble mentality is kind of been working, at least so far, for the NBA and the NHL when they get things started. Major League Baseball, just has not done a very good job of policing rules and regulations for these players. We're hearing of players going out and, kind of, I don't want to say using the term reckless, but they're really just kind of enjoying themselves and not really putting any social or personal responsibility on themselves when it comes to recognizing the fact that if they get infected, whether they're asymptomatic or not, that's going to have a major effect on the people around them. And you're seeing it firsthand with what's going on with the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. So,
Ryan, let me touch on that real quick.
Yeah.
Because I feel that this goes back to even deeper roots of the problem in baseball, because for years baseball has been, sucking hind tit, because they, compared to the other leagues, they're not up to date on anything, and this is the prime example. And when you bring up the fact of the players going out, and I know you, for lack of a better word, you said reckless, but I think it's a good word to say, because I think it goes to the point of that players union being so powerful that those players have no repercussions coming in their way of any shape or form, unless they do something completely stupid where they get suspended. But you follow my point here, is that player union is so strong, I think it's almost prevented baseball from following the right guidelines.
And I follow that. Hold on. And the thing is, if you have a team in Miami, you're not quarantined or nothing.
Yeah, but they were out.
And most of the Marlins players are young guys.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think they're going to go do?
They were out in Atlanta, though, is what they all went out to do, though.
Yeah.
Well, but
Atlanta don't have a shutdown.
We don't have a lot of time for Ryan to break all this down. But what we're trying to do is what we hope is that we create a relationship with you, Ryan, that we can have this conversation more often with you.
We love you, Ryan.
I would love to join you guys anytime. I enjoyed this immensely. Again, just so I can put it out there, the podcast is called The Friendly Confines. You can also find me on Twitter at Ryan D. Lieber. We post all our content on my Twitter handle, and we have a Facebook page, the Chicago Cubs Friendly Confines podcast Facebook page. So please, join that. It's, like I said, easy to find, easy to use, and we love engaging with all our listeners to hear from you guys to what we want to ultimately talk about, and that's being Cubs baseball.
Can I ask one quick question before you go? It's from a question on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread that we have, because we're also on Facebook Live. Why is Chris Bryant in the leadoff spot?
Oh, that's such a great question. And I posed that in our newest episode, actually. I was debating with my co-host Chad Gordon about this last night, and basically I think that's something David Ross really needs to take a hard look at. He's clearly not comfortable in that spot. The numbers are showing that, and, he's going to have to really pay attention these next few games that the Cubs are playing to see if this is ultimately the right move. You might have to move, Chris Bryant down in the order. Or you may have to look at a situation and say, is Nico Horner or Ian Happ the best choice to put in that leadoff position? It has been such a frustrating situation for the Chicago Cubs since Dexter Fowler left the team in 2017, because we have not been able to see a legit leadoff hitter do much of anything since then, and it has really handicapped this team when it comes to providing any production in that spot. So,
it should be Hayward. Hayward should be the leadoff, in my opinion.
Oh, no. You think Hayward should be in that spot? Hayward, to me, just hasn't shown me enough to really be able to, make that happen.
No. The reason why I say that is because, hey, if he's going to be like that, get that easy out, and then we'll get to the next two. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know.
And I know what Ryan's saying, but the thing is like this, you don't want to put Chris Bryant in that situation. Chris Bryant is good as either a 4 or 5 in the lineup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but hey,
we
look at the numbers everywhere.
Yeah.
Again, Ryan doesn't have a lot of time, and we could keep him here till the end of the show. So,
sure.
Ryan, again, it's a Friendly Confines podcast. Again, I appreciate that you guys do it by season and everything else. You guys drop once a week. I encourage everyone to go out there and subscribe to it wherever you listen to podcasts. He already told you that you can follow him on Twitter at Ryan D. Lieber and at the Chad Gordon. That's his partner that does it. Ryan, I want to thank you so much for your time. I look forward to talking with you again as much as we can, as much as your time allows.
Jay, anytime you need me, I'm here. I appreciate the time. Guys, enjoy your weekend. Go Cubs, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Go Cubs.
Right on. Be safe out there.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Yep.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, that's Ryan Lieber. I appreciate it. Like I said, that was great. The guy, he knows his stuff. It is a good podcast. I listened to it. He actually sent the link to me, and I was like, yeah, of course I'll take a listen, because I don't want to be in.
We're starting to get quite a repertoire of people we know across the nation.
Look at that.
Look at us.
We got the East Coast, West Coast with Emily. We're going all over the place. We're
a bunch of Quad City alcoholics just getting her done.
We got to take a quick break.
The Quad City alcoholics in the
Before
house.
we do that, Just Doors QC is no longer a proud sponsor of Don't Hassle We're Local. We just had a legit segment and we just ruined it.
What do you mean?
And just like the Quad City's only local sports talk radio show, Just Doors QC is locally owned. Just Doors QC specializes in interior and exterior work, like for doors, trims, baseboards, crown molding, and so much more, and including front doors, which will add to that curb appeal of your homes. Get a hold of Paul at 309-657-8541. Will you see Paul this afternoon?
I'm going to give Paul a call, summer, spring, or fall.
And hopefully you can see him in that red ambulance truck as well. But give him a call, 309-657-8541, to get started to help you change your home into your dream home. Paul brings an air of professionalism to every opportunity he's offered, big and small, and will treat your home as if it were his own. Go to their Facebook page, Just Doors QC, and read the numerous reviews and browse their incredible before and after pictures. While you're there, don't forget to like and follow their page. Start improving your living area by calling Paul at 309-657-8541.
Love you, Paul.
Almost sounded like Jenny, 867-5309.
This is Brian Rothenberger, radio guy for the Quad City Storm. You are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
From lines of credit in Chicagoland to equipment finance loans in the Quad Cities to better cash flow in Milwaukee. First Midwest Bank is committed to using our local knowledge and ideas to help our clients get their business momentum back. Visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. You have plans, we have ideas. First Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
At a time of personal loss, we each express our feeling in our own way. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory recognize that no one service is right for everyone. That's why we offer various options for the most appropriate service, the most fitting farewell, and personalized attention to detail. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
This is the Dan Levitar Show on ESPN Radio.
Do you expect the 78-year-old to throw a strike from 60 feet, 6 inches away tonight? Fauci. 63% of the audience said no. If Anthony Fauci, we should call him Dr. Fauci. But anyway, if Anthony bounces his first pitch tonight, should that impact his shot at winning awards?
What awards is he winning? He's been doing nothing. All he's been doing is warning us, and we've ignored him. And now we're starting sports again.
71% of the audience said yes. He's throwing out the first pitch, Dan.
We've ignored his warnings. He's not going to win any awards. We're number one at being the worst. He gave us all the advice and we ignored it. Told us how to do this, and we simply ignored him.
He'd be throwing that thing in front of 60,000 tonight if we listen.
The Dan Levitard Show, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Car old? Need it sold? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction coming soon to Coal Valley. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, SUV, or motorcycle, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or visit them online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old? Need it sold? Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. Stay tuned for an auction date in Coal Valley.
This is the Dan Levitar Show on ESPN Radio.
I want everybody to think of a number between 1 and 10.
4.
Okay, shouldn't have said it. Now I want everyone to multiply that number by 2. Now I want you to add 6. Now I want you to divide it by 2. Now I want you to take your original number and subtract it from the number that you have right now. The number you currently have in your head is 3. Boom, baby! Whoa!
It is magic. It's not a magic trick.
Magic?
It's mathic. Like, it's not magic. All you did was math there.
We're on the radio, Dan. I can't do magic. I got to do it the way I can do it on the radio.
Can't believe we all picked the same number.
The magic trick is I got the math right.
Well, that was the big upset because I totally thought we were ending this show with you going, wait a minute, my number's 5 because you did the math trick all wrong.
The Dan Levitard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
New construction and remodel season is here. Hi, it's Mike from Mike's Floor Pro. Looking to replace that dull fiberglass shower with a custom-made tile shower? Wood or waterproof vinyl plank in the kitchen? Or carpet so pet-friendly it can resist a bleach stain? Visit the pros at Mike's Floor Pro. Quality products, quality installation, expert staff. Find out why everyone is taking the short drive to 215 North 2nd Street in Eldridge. Or call us at 563-570-1652 to schedule your free in-home measure and estimate. Mike's Floor Pro.
All the dunks, blocks, and threes. The NBA is back on your sports leader, ESPN 1170.
We're masking up these last few minutes here on
sounds like it.
Oh, it fell off. Don't hassle us, local. Welcome back, everybody.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me this mask.
Yeah, Jay
the
is
Harrington's Pub
Jay
mask.
and I are, yeah,
if you want
Pub
to,
face mask.
If you want to later, you can go to our Facebook page and look at Don't Hassle Us for Local. And
I really was hoping Leah was going to be here today, guys, because I wanted her to wear one.
Yeah,
you know, she refuses to wear a mask.
She refuses.
Yeah. So are these for sale at Harrington's Pub?
Yeah, I think I'm going to put them for sale.
Okay.
Probably, I don't know. I think
You're the worst salesman in the history of life.
Hey, sure.
I just bought them.
I
I don't know. I just bought a bunch of them.
Cal was like, "You're going to send your kid to school with that?" I'm like, "Yes, of course I'm going to."
I think they cost me $5 a mask.
You trying to tell me these teachers don't know where Harrington's Pub are? They know where the Harrington's Pub is.
They know exactly where it's at.
I don't need a mask to advertise for them.
Sell them.
for sure.
I'll sell them for $5. That's what I got in them. So.
Oh, look at you.
I don't need to make money off these masks.
Yeah.
I just want to save America.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
One alcoholic at a time.
Look at this.
Yeah.
If I'm not saving the alcoholics of America, I don't know.
You know
who is.
they need one of those little pop things
We just go like
on the mask, and you can just put it.
I know.
That's how you. Delicious.
That beer is so good.
I'm gonna try to be here on a regular basis because I love this one.
Oh, we love you. We appreciate it. So,
Well, we need somebody to replace Serge.
And
no one can replace Serge.
Nobody can replace Serge, but
I know, I'm
at the
just
same
teasing.
at the same time, y'all need a little hot fudge on this vanilla sundae.
We certainly do. And Leah's our cherry.
Yeah, you got the lady. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got the lady. Now you need the chocolate.
Look at us. We're really diversifying this.
We are
into the
diversified.
hassle.
Take that,
Tell
Levitard.
me, yeah,
Levitard's
yeah,
just got a
hold
bunch
on.
of swinging. You know
Oh,
what?
he's
In his
got to
show.
like that.
Take that, Levitard. You don't have a black man on your show.
We're really doing things in
Right
radio
here,
in the
Levitard.
QC.
Right there, buddy.
Levitard don't
we
want
got
no
the-
parts of this.
No,
Yeah,
we
he
don't
doesn't
want no
want
parts of
any
this.
media.
Oh, look at us. Go.
I got more diversity in my little finger than Levitard has in the whole body.
That is not true.
That's totally true.
Levitard is a great writer.
So am I. I just write porn.
So what we got to do, Cal, is we just got to talk to the Kirkland at Grant City and see what he can do for you.
Yes,
Come on,
for sure.
Kirkland.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Kirkland, Granite City, over there in Utica Ridge.
Cal, you ready? Watch this.
Right
Kirkland,
next to Pines.
do the right thing.
I get it.
We're right next to Pines.
You know what we haven't done though?
15 feet away from
you
Pines.
bookended this week.
I know. I'm sorry.
And Cal, thank you also for coming in.
Next week could be a nightmare too, guys. So.
Oh, that's not fun. We haven't done a rewatchable. We haven't looked at a movie and broke it down in a couple weeks now.
That would be sweet.
We've got to do that soon. We got to figure out a movie to do. But it's
I will be here
Friday,
Monday.
like,
I moved my schedule around Monday with the doctor and the.
I got the first movie.
What?
First Avengers.
No, we're not doing that. We want to keep it sports related.
It is sports related.
You going to explain that to me later, but we're not doing it right now.
You were just so defeated when it is sports related.
We want to keep the movies like sports related or whatever else. So you're going to move some things around for Monday though.
Okay,
I'll be here Monday for sure, unless of course
Okay, so here's what we'll do.
something unforeseen happens.
The first movie we'll do Major League. Let's do it. Major League. What do you
I'm
think?
okay with it. I can break it. I can do it.
Break it down.
Yeah, I
Well,
can.
at least
do
you
it.
didn't tear his heart out with that.
No, I can do
Yeah.
it. Usually there's it's your suggestion. We'll follow. We'll go through
Yeah.
it. All right.
And then we'll do Rookie of the Year.
No, we'll talk about that one. But Major League, of course.
Watch, I hate that one.
Yeah.
Why?
He's got weird little movie things
Yeah.
going on in his
What?
brain. You gotta watch.
Hold on. You can't say let's
Yes.
do sports movies and be like, I don't like that one.
Well,
Oh,
no.
yeah,
It's
he
not
can,
saying
and he
I.
does.
Yeah. It's not saying I don't, but
I'm
like,
just saying.
No,
actually,
he just does. He'll get mad at you for movies.
I like a theme more like, oh, this was released 20 years ago or 25.
See, yeah,
type
Calvin.
Of
He
thing.
doesn't like. Do you ever see Diggstown, Calvin?
Yes.
He hated it.
Oh boy, that
What?
movie.
Yes.
Yeah. I crapped all over Space Jam too.
See, Cal.
Yeah.
See what I'm dealing with on a daily basis.
Thank you guys for letting me come here. This is the last time you've seen me on this show.
You gotta keep coming back for more. Major League's a fun one to do because the thing
Yep.
that the recast, the possible people that were going to be cast in there that didn't make it.
Yep.
The idea that Wesley Snipes is not that fast, so that's why they did the shots in slow motion.
Exactly.
All those things. It's a fun one to do, and I know a lot about it, and we can go through the best scenes, the best
Exactly.
quotes, all that stuff. So, and I you know what the other category I want to do is who's got the juice? Who came out of that movie with the juice? Who was the strongest out of the
What
movie?
movie?
Major League and any movie. When
The
you look
juice,
at
you mean like
who's
had
the star? Who's
Charlie
the guy?
Sheen.
Who's the star at that time?
Wesley
that,
Snipes.
Charlie Sheen.
That's again.
Snipes went on
this
to
is
do
something to do.
Blade and all kinds of stuff.
All
I
right.
mean,
This is something
That
to
was
do.
12 years
This is something to
after.
do when we make sure we're all in the same room. When we all know we can be together, we're going to do it sometime next week.
White Man Can't Jump right after.
You're right.
We barely did White Man Can't Jump, but we did a little bit of it.
I'm just saying, talking about
but
Snipes'
Charlie
career.
Sheen.
Hey,
Charlie Sheen was
we're
a Ferris
going. We
Bueller.
got to go. Want to thank Ryan for calling in. Appreciate it. Cal, thank you for being here.
Yes.
Look forward to anytime you can be here. And just give us a shout out, throw up the bat signal. You're good to go. T-Roy,
Hey,
take care
congratulations
of that.
on my boy Jim Mooney.
Bomber,
retiring.
you take care of yourself. We'll see you guys soon. Stay safe
Shane
and
Rashad, I love
sanitize,
you.
Quad City. I'll see you soon.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.